don't feel like you need to post about these crazy numbers of your business in order to be successful.
And show the pivot, show the struggle,
Yep.
show what you're moving through, because more people will relate to that specifically than they will to the numbers that seem so unattainable to them at the time.
We're your hosts, Sahara Embry
and Michaela Bedoyan. From working corporate 9-to-5s to running $1 million companies,
we're bringing you the inside scoop of what it takes to start and scale your business.
We're keeping things real, raw, and unfiltered.
This is the Rise and Refine podcast. Welcome back. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, y'all. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. We're excited today. We have a short but sweet and needed to be said episode talking about what success truly means and how is it just looking busy? Is it having an effective business? But you know, there's like this thing right now on social media where it's like, I'm so busy. This is what I did.
Yeah.
And you almost start comparing yourself.
Yeah.
So are they just looking busy? Do they just look successful? What's behind what they posted?
Ooh, yes. And the pressure to feel like you have to look successful on social media.
Yeah.
That's a really big one. The idea of hustle culture. I think, you know, it's honestly, as founders, it's looked down upon, it's frowned upon to have this hustle culture. But if you look everywhere, that is what is mainstream. That is what is trending, is the actual hustle culture.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I think a lot of people, we compare. We're like, oh, they must be really busy. They're posting that they did this and they did that. But it's like if you actually picked up their business and looked behind the scenes, you would be like, what?
Yeah.
They're not making money. They're not actually working from the time they wake up to the time that they go to bed. Like they claim, like there's a lot of what you see is not actually reality of being a business owner.
Okay.
So we kind of want to set the record straight on that.
Okay.
You know, do you remember it was like, I don't know, the YouTube era, like 10 years ago, people would be like, I got this Lamborghini. And you know what I'm talking about?
No, okay. Full transparency, I was never a YouTube kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Never, didn't have a YouTube account, didn't spend any time on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, I was never a YouTube kid.
Well, it's kind of like, this is how I think of it. Okay, maybe you'll know this reference.
Okay.
So did you know that sometimes influencers, like there's this private plane set you can rent out to make it seem like you're on a private plane?
Yes, I have heard this.
But you're actually not on a private plane?
Okay. I have heard this.
Okay, so that's a better example for you then. That's what sometimes business and success to me is like a social media, because people post specific thing and they're like, I'm busy and I'm doing this and I'm successful and this is what's going on. It's like the facade versus the reality of a business. And just because someone says, oh, I booked 5 clients this month, I'm so busy working back to back, all these things does not mean they have a profitable, sustainable business. And that's the biggest point that we want to touch on today.
Yeah. So as we're talking through this, we're going to first touch on some of the signs of performing instead of producing. And do you want to touch on a couple of those signs right now?
Yes. So it's two things, right? It's like, are we showing up to a meeting, or are we diving deep into our business that day and actually doing effective things to increase our ROI, increase our business, increase our growth? Like, which one are you doing? Are you performing to show everybody else you're a CEO, or can you be behind the scenes and actually be a CEO and run a sustainable, growing business?
What are some of the things that you do personally going into a meeting to make sure that you are going to be moving the needle during that time?
Yeah. And this is the difference between what you see on social media where someone's posting like, I had 5 meetings today.
Yeah.
Well, what went into those 5 meetings? What did it truly look like?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times an effective, sustainable business, what they're doing is they're prepping for the meetings, right? They're coming prepared with their notes. They're making sure that they have updates on their projects. If it's like a project meeting, they're making sure that they keep everybody informed and they communicate. They're coming prepared to each one. And so behind the scenes, it's like, am I posting I have 5 meetings, but what went on? Did I actually prep for the meetings? Did I actually go through and communicate with my team on the meetings? Like, what went on behind the scenes that you don't see, right? It's kind of like the same thing. It's like, I met with 5 clients today and pitched them. Well, how many of those clients did you nurture and actually win?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we can post how many clients we meet with all the time.
Right.
But what is it behind the business, behind the scenes of, okay, well, they're meeting with a lot of clients. They must be successful. No. Did they win those clients?
Yeah.
Did they nurture them? Did they follow up? It's not just success of meeting with clients. Did they profit?
Yeah.
So
did they actually sign those clients?
Yeah.
And showing the process of actually what it looks like for you to take a client through that onboarding process.
Yes.
Through, for Refine, like our design process, our web design process, and giving them a taste of what it would be like to even work with you.
Yeah.
The work that it takes to get to that point, to be able to show that process, you have to have that process built out.
Yeah.
You have to be able to look at everything from a bird's eye view, take just the big nuggets, pull those out, and put that on full display as content.
Well, that's achievement too.
Yes.
Right. That's achievement within a business, not attention, not the hustle culture of, we could say we had 30 Discover meetings this week. Okay. Or this month. Right. But in reality, a lot of businesses post like that. Like I had a 10K month, but a lot of people don't understand the real reality of, did they win those clients? Were they profitable? Did they actually make money off the 10K?
Yeah,
How much
you're just
were they
spitting out numbers that look and sound good to appeal to your audience in a certain way, and it doesn't necessarily equal anything. It doesn't equal. Maybe success is relative. Like you can be successful in your business by making 10K months. You can be successful by converting 4 clients a month. You can be successful by, being a 7-figure brand. That's so relative to you and what your own personal goals are for you and your business. However, be very careful with falling into the trap of just spitting out numbers for the appearance side.
Yeah. And I think you're listening to and comparing yourself to. And that's why we wanted to talk about this. Where I was going with the YouTube thing is it used to be like this whole YouTube business model where a lot of people would post like, oh, I got a Lamborghini, or they'd talk about this extravagant stuff. They didn't actually own that. They just claimed they did. Well, a lot of those people within the last couple of weeks are actually now, and I only know this because Trevor, but I was.
Her husband is in this space, is in the YouTube space.
I know the updated drama with it, but I was in the YouTube era of people like posting that I got all this stuff. Yeah. But now they're like going through lawsuits and all this for the fact that they scam so many people because they'd be like, we own all this, we make so much money, like buy this from us. You know what I'm saying? Because people would listen and they got distracted by what these people were posting, thinking it was real without doing research and validating who they were and what type of business they had.
And that's when you get caught up in the what and the how of your business instead of the why, instead of who you are, what you stand for, what your values are, and what your non-negotiables are. Because at the end of the day, like if you consistently go back to the why behind your business and your value proposition, your mission statement, you're not going to have these issues that we're talking about.
No, it's, I read this. It says visibility gets you noticed, value gets you remembered. The value, the sustainability of a business, like visibility, attention, and all those things, it's short term. Yeah. It's not long term. That's why you notice a lot of people who kind of like just post about that, not the reality, or make it seem like everything's good, typically don't have a long term sustaining business, right? But the people who are okay with hiding behind the scenes sometimes and just grinding and digging in and working hard and creating a sustainable business, who aren't so concerned with the attention side of it, are the ones who have a long lasting business. Yeah. Now, we're not saying though, don't post about your success and things like that. We're just saying don't get tricked. Yeah. Don't think, oh, I've got to look a certain way. I've got to wear Prada. I've got to have these certain things and post about it. And that's what's going to get me clients. That's what's going to get me to my 10K months, is if I have what that person has.
Yeah. The comparison factor. Yeah. I think we're going to be seeing a huge shift too here, especially, I think we've already started to see it in 2025. But now that we're in 2026, really honing in on course creators, because so often there's so many mid-level courses out there right now to where they just kind of threw something into Chat GPT and they created something that was just that you could easily come up with, create a course around, and then sell it for $500, $600, $2,000.
But then they claim it's helped thousands of people.
Exactly. And it's something that you could easily throw into an AI automated software and spit out the same thing with the same results instead of paying $2,000 for that same course.
Yeah, 100%.
And so many, I personally feel like so many course creators, we're going to see a huge shift of those course creators falling off because they're not
Yeah.
actually adding value. They're not creating something.
They're just making claims.
And they're just kind of spitting out surface level content.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I noticed that too. A lot of like courses, it'll be like, which some of it's true. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. You just have to do your research and not like get sold by these things.
Yeah.
But it's like, what type of business are they? Like sometimes we get attracted to the people making these big claims when in reality we don't see behind the scenes because they don't show it.
Exactly.
So it's like with the courses, it's like, yeah, you get to, I bought it one before. It's like you buy it because you get excited because they have this marketing and then they made all these claims and then you open up course and you're like, I could have easily asked this to ChatGPT and gotten an answer.
And that's
in a
exactly
second.
my point.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see so many of those specific creators falling off or having to completely pivot,
readjust their business.
Yes. And actually add value, actually give you something that's a product. Like you have to be an industry expert. You can't just throw something together and expect to spit it out.
No, 100%. And there's a lot of that, whether it's with the course, whether it's with realtors making claims on their numbers when they don't exist. I mean, with the company saying they're so great with culture and then behind the scenes, there's a ton of turnover.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use these comparisons in so many different ways with it. So it's a really big thing. So the visibility over value is really big. Like, which one are you chasing for your business? Are you wanting to gain attention to get those short-term followers?
Yeah.
Right? Just to get likes real quick? Like, what's more important is the amount of followers and likes you have, or the fact that you have a 50% profit margin with a 10-year long running business? Because I know which one I want.
Yeah.
Because followers and likes will go away, but a
Exactly.
solid business is here to stay. And that's a really, really big thing that I want to really reach to people with this hustle culture and success looks this way as it doesn't. And businesses are built in so many different ways.
Well, and I think social media has just completely blurred the lines when it comes to marketing and the idea of marketing and confusing marketing your product or service on social media with real life business growth. And that's what we're talking about with all the behind the scenes, with all the work that's going into something like we launched Unmuted back in November for Black Friday. And yes, you saw the social media campaigns, you saw the emails going out, you saw the challenge that was created. You didn't see all of the prep work that was associated with building that. You didn't see the strategy calls that led up to that. You didn't see the beta launch that happened in May, months before, to make sure that we actually had a product that was going to be helpful based off of our own lived in experiences, that was going to be helpful for other business owners.
Yeah, you didn't just slap it together and throw
it wasn't
out
just
there.
slapped together. It was literally months of planning, prepping, writing copy, building out a web page, building out different workflows and automations to make sure that the content was delivered appropriately and effectively for all parties involved.
Yeah,
that's the work
100%.
that you don't see behind the scenes.
No, you don't. It's like I think it's sometimes people just think it's a strategy. Like you never also see us sitting here saying we had this many Discover calls and we had a 20K month, a 10K month. Like we're not
might
doing
celebrate
that.
certain wins because they're huge for us.
Yeah.
However, we're not gonna.
It's not our marketing strategy.
No, that's not our marketing strategy.
No, we're typically
At
getting
all.
into like the behind the scenes and the reality and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's okay for some people to use that as a marketing strategy, but just be very mindful of the people who only use it as a marketing strategy.
Yes.
And comparing your business to theirs, because I promise you behind the scenes, your business might look a lot better.
Yeah.
And you just don't know. And you cannot get into that hustle, toxic culture of, well, here's what I'm doing. You should look this way. You should do this.
Yeah.
Sometimes people make half. They may have a 5K month and make more money.
Yeah.
What their business looks like. So you just never know with that.
Exactly. Sometimes, and not sometimes, most times, being painfully consistent in your marketing, in your content, in the message that you're spreading, that is going to move the needle. That's going to be long lasting. You're going to build trust. You're going to build the visibility piece, yes, but you're going to almost build like a cult following. Like I think of Apple, like they haven't changed their message. You know that they're for the outlier. Microsoft and PC, like they were the computer brand. Then Apple stepped into the market and it was like, holy cow, but you buy the software of Apple might not be nearly as good in certain ways as a PC, but you still have Apple Mac lovers.
Yes.
You're still going to
100%.
have that cult following there. And it's because you know exactly what their why is, and that has never changed.
No, it hasn't. And they have a really good foundation to their company. And that's
Exactly.
what we really want to encourage you guys is take a step back from the social media, the toxic culture that you see, comparing in the hustle side, and lay a solid foundation. Be okay with staying behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you need to post about these crazy numbers of your business in order to be successful. Build the foundation, build your team, build your structure, lay that groundwork first.
Share your story.
Anything else.
Show the behind the scenes, show the pivot, show the struggle, show what you're moving through, because more people will relate to that specifically than they will to the numbers that seem so unattainable to them at the time.
100%. So I want to leave everyone with this, and that's a question you kind of can ask yourself, which is, what's one area of your life that looks successful on the outside but needs rebuilding underneath? And just having that honest conversation with yourself where this is what I'm showing. It looks successful on the outside, but deep down, I need to pivot. I need to work on it and do something and step away from social media and comparing it.
That's good. That's good. Well, if you guys like this episode, please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. If somebody popped into your head that needs to hear this episode, please share it with them. You can follow us on Instagram and on TikTok over at Rise and Refine Podcast, or you can see us on the brand and web design side over on Instagram at refinemarketing_. We hope that y'all have a great week and happy Monday.
See you next Monday.